All right, number two, too many low quality links that could be hurting you. So in the past, it was all about links. The more links you had, the higher you were going to rank. It was pretty easy to, submit a website to 1,000 business directories and get it ranking at the top of Google, in a matter of a week. Not necessarily the case anymore because of the Penguin update. Now they are looking at the quality and the relevancy of each link that is coming to your business. So you do have now what's called a link profile, and that is in a tool called Google Search Console, which we'll talk about in a little bit. It's a free tool, but they're building a link profile for your domain name. And one thing you can do is log into this and find these really bad links, from Russian sites or from Poland sites or from all these weird places, or there's spammers, or there's a lot of different ways this could happen. But you want to actually disavow those links so that they're not counted against you in the overall scheme of things. It's also important to do something called diversifying your anchor text. Anchor text is the words that show up with the blue underline when you're on a website and you can click on it because it's a link. That text is called the anchor text. So in the past, again, we would build sites with anchor text that was window treatments pointing back to your site, right? Now it's more around keywords, but they also look at things like click here, right? That counts as well. If it's coming from a good site, click here is a great link back to your site, or the full https://www.joeswindowtreatments.com or whatever. They count those too. They understand the difference in the types of anchor text that you could have coming back to your site. Jeff asks, why do sites from Russia want to link to our sites? It's a great question. Why do they want to link to these other sites? Sometimes it's part of hacking, that they're trying to find different vulnerabilities. Other times they just create thousands, if not millions of sites with links pointing to these other sites. And you'll get these .ru, for example, links from a really bad website pointing back to yours. I don't know why they do it from a psychological standpoint. If there's no benefit for them to link to a site that doesn't make sense, but they do. I'm sure it has something to do with being hacked and things like that. So anytime you see those types of links, you want to disavow those and tell Google, I know this link exists, but I don't want you to count it towards my rankings and towards my link profile, if you will. Now, this is a screenshot of Google Search Console, which again, we'll talk about in a few minutes here, but there is actually a links area on here, and then you can see who's linking to you and from where. So this is a good place to start seeing where links are coming from. Jody said, if we use tiny URL addresses, does that hurt us? In most cases, it does not, because tiny URL, Bitly, these kinds of services are typically 301 redirects, meaning it's a status code to Google that if they find that link, 301 says, hey, any value that's coming to this link, please give it to the end result. So if you're posting somewhere and you're posting a Bitly link or a tiny URL, or some of these social media services have these URL shorteners, almost all of those are 301 redirects, meaning they'll give the value or the link juice to the receiving page. So not a huge issue there. I would stick with the bigger ones. Like I said, Bitly, tiny URL, some of the very well-known ones, just to make sure that that is the case. But great question.